My notes say we need to talk about Wax Off and Wings of Steel. So let's go ahead and we'll start in Succubus. My computer is possessed. It's trying to stop the recording. It's recording. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So when we are doing Wings of Steel, Wax Off. Let's start from Shield Maiden. So here, the sweep that you do with your arm is going to be dependent on your arm length and the size and shape of your sword. So what I want you to think about, instead of just your arm doing a thing and the sword kind of getting pushed around while you're doing it, and not that everyone's doing this, I'm just making an example, is you want to think about the pathway of the curve of your blade. So these sweeping actions should be emulating or following the momentum of the curvature of your sword so that it's really nice and smooth and consistent. And so when we're here on wall plane, we're going to sweep, we'll do right first. We're going to slice, down to up. So you're coming kind of across the chest to like Slayer. And then we're going to come up past your face, and the sword's going to rotate through wheel plane to Sonia. And then you're going to keep rotating the palm back as you come down. And so I have to sweep my arm down in order to be able to get into Maleficent. So we're really working with gravity as well as kind of drawing a circle with the pommel of the sword and letting the blade come with us. So the palm goes back, the palm comes in, the palm comes front, the palm goes out, and then the palm is back as you get to the mid position. So you don't have to jump over, and you don't have to fold the sword. So there's this really beautiful rotation as we're coming from the cutting edge, kind of past our face. We're going to come forward, and then the palm comes forward, and then the palm goes out, and then from this out position, I can tuck the tip in as the palm goes back through Maleficent. And then I can come back down to Shield Maiden, drawing that circle and making that sweep, thinking about the curvature of the sword. So it's like, it's an arc across the bottom, almost like expanse. So we're coming blade up, blade level, blade down. And then as we come up to the top, there's a full rotation that's going to bring us to point in, and then it's going to go forward. And then from this forward position, you can use a little leverage. Yeah, really nice. As we come down with that rotation. So that you can get a full sweep with your arm, but you're showing off the sword the whole time. Does that make sense to everyone? That looks really good. But this sweep happens as you come down. Yeah, beautiful. And we keep the palm back as we come back to the top, or whether we come up and we end up high. And then let's do the other arm, please. One arm is going to be your strong arm and one is not, right? And then again, I like to use my finger along the handle rather than splitting, or even in this instance being in kind of side saddle, because it gives me more control over the sword this way. So then we're going to come across, and it looks pretty. Across to Slaya. So you're at the non-sword arm shoulder. Then we're going to lift up on wall plane still. Then as I carve through wheel plane, back to wall plane, and then keep rotating. And then from this kind of 11 o'clock position, coming palm back as you come to like the 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock position, and then down with the palm back to 6 o'clock if we're thinking about a clock. I never thought about that before, but maybe that helps. So, and my grip is nice and loose here because I'm really trying to keep the sword on wall plane. So I'm not letting it twist this way, and I'm not letting it twist this way. It's like if you imagine drawing a shape through space, you're adjusting your grip so that we're showing the cutting edge, but then we want to show the flat, and then the cutting edge just happens as we're trying to show the flat. Yeah, really nice. Shauna, that looks really good. So then when we put it together, it's going to go one, up and out, and then as this one comes down, this one starts to go up. Up and out. As this one goes down, this one's coming up. And am I passing my face? No. So I'm not actually coming all the way into Slayer when I'm putting it together. I'm coming more up center. Lorian, I could feel you asking that question before I finish the phrase. So you could come across, depending on how flexible your shoulders are, but I think if it's a little easier for your shoulder to come up center and kind of past your eyeballs. And you're making your arm circles as big as the curve of your sword. So if you're dancing with the ballady, your sword might be moving more around your elbow. If you're dancing with the cast, you might be, but it's not little. It's not like a little T-Rex move. It's like, look at my sword, look at my sword. And that's what we call this move, the cleaners. It's not even just wax off. Keep going, keep going. I'm gonna check you guys out. Go, arms, go. You can do it. You're the best. All right, go ahead and take a break. Really beautiful, everyone. I know, it's a workout for your arms. All right, now let's do a little grip change. We're gonna come down. So from succubus, go ahead and open up into our bat wings. We're gonna lift, come down to Astrid. And then we're gonna talk about this grip change. I'm interrupting the linear order of our class because I wanna do this technique and it will get us where I wanna go. So from Astrid, after we slice down at the end, we're gonna release into the 2-finger pinch grip. Because if you try to hold on with the rest of your fingers, your swords are gonna be like, woo! And that is just not the story that we're telling in this particular dance. So let go with your fingers and just keep your index finger and your thumb so that when we open out, you're gonna bring the palms forward, but you're trying to spin the swords like on the same spot. So you're kind of coming from Lilith through Maeve to River, but not out here. Does that make sense? So think about that spiral happening like you were drawing a circle on the floor around your 2 feet. So that reverse recover situation is not muscled. See what happens if I don't let go? So what I'm trying to do is let go with my fingers so I can actually leave the point under the pommel for that really controlled rotation, the external rotation. Yeah. Is that making sense, everyone? Versus swinging the sword out here. So instead of swinging, we're trying to rotate. Good, and then from this rotation, we're gonna come back all the way to wall plane. So I'm in like, this is called Pegasus. Look at me remembering a power pose. We're gonna come up. And then what I have found, and I know we talked about this a little bit, is if you twist your handle in a little bit, so twist it toward the front of the room, as you come up, twist it toward the front of the room to lower down, and that will more consistently get the quillion in front of your wrist. Does that make sense to everyone? So when I'm in Pegasus up here, as I lift my arms and extend, I'm twisting my pinky finger toward the floor a little bit. So my hand is more palm forward as I deliver, and then I can come down to cradle as I sweep hopefully without getting stuck, right? That's the point. But rather than, I'll do my left arm. My right arm is like, yeah, fuck you, Bella. Rather than it coming down and kind of biting your wrist, now of course it's not gonna do it. When you come up, there we go, where it's kind of stuck, just give your pommel, or even just let go of it a little bit. If you let go of it, gravity's gonna fix it. Sorry, Melissa said that the other day, and I was like, yes, exactly, when we were doing Flourish this weekend. So you can twist it or just let go a little bit more, and gravity will fix it. And then you're ready to deliver. Does that make sense? And the same when we get to the other side. And then we're in flare or double flare. Excellent. So then flare is another arm sweeping family of movement, or cradle wings of steel is another arm sweeping family of movements. And so these sweeps are very similar to our wax off sweeps. Wax off is in succubus, flare or wings of steel is in cradle. So that when you're doing the action, it's not just your arm moving through space. We're thinking about the pathway that we're cutting. So as I come up, I'm coming all the way up, and then I'm rotating through wheel plane all the way to wall plane, and then back out through wall plane, down to wall plane, back through wheel plane. Wall, 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 wheel essentially, or back to wall. So same on the other side, and that's a mid. I don't think we're doing any super high ones. I'm gonna come back out of that backwards and not do that again. Let's do the left side, or your right side. Up, sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm like, your shoulder doesn't work, Bella, and my shoulder's like, remember? Wall, 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 wheel. Good, make sure your knees are soft, pelvis is neutral, because we're doing these arm sweeps. You have a weight in your arm. We wanna stay centered the whole time. Beautiful, really nice rotation. Do you see how when we rotate at the bottom, and then we're getting the point right under the pommel to rotate at the top as we extend? Beautiful. Good, and then when we stack that one, we go right, and then we go left, and we come back through flare, and then both come up at the same time into all-seeing eye. Make sure your all-seeing eye is also on wall plane. There's a lot of wall wheel split all-seeing eyes happening, so loosen your grip and bring your palms to the back. And if you need to bring your arms closer together or a little higher or a little lower, play with this shape with where you feel strong and it feels balanced. So you don't have to reach out past your body. Bring your arms into socket and think about stacking so it feels good. Then we open with purpose, extend with purpose, right? Grip change with purpose, because this is our big finale. This is the end. We're here showing up, fighting with, before, inside each other. With, for. With meaning beside and for each other. Sorry. Too many words are coming out of my mouth. Okay, and then cradle falls. Yeah, cool. Does that help with wings and with wax on, wax off-ish? Yeah, Melissa?
So question with respect to wax off. Where are we coming back to meet the other sword? Are we aiming for down, or are we aiming for like in our mid? So we're joining?
I think
I've been joining.
starts again, and then you pick up with the left and then come up to open.
Okay.
Sweep down, right? That's the part you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's, right, and I'm doing a hook with that too. Hook and catch up and open. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's what I was doing, but I felt like I was guessing.
Right. Well, and I think there was a point where I was trying to add another full circle there with the right, and I don't think there's time. So I meant to talk about that last week, so I'm glad you asked. So right and left, so we end up in split time, and the right acts like it's going to go again, but the left catches up. Then they join together to open up and then out. Elbows, points first, wacha, over, and then wall plane. This is super important. Yeah. So any rotation matters. Symmetry matters. Wall plane, wall plane, wall plane, wall plane. Practice. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Like, that's how I practice. Like, noodle, wall plane. Where's wall plane? Oh, there you are. Right? Like, that's where you're going to get used to the amount of energy the amount of twist you have to put in your wrist. And if you're dancing with Balinese, it's really coming to my attention what a difference wrapping your handle makes. Because I don't really dance with Balinese, but I've been answering more questions about it. And I wrapped one of my Balinese in the workshop a couple weekends ago. And as I've been demoing it in class in the trainings, it makes a big difference. And so I like the suede. I tried the tennis racket grip and it didn't work for me. It was too tacky. But you know, you can try different things. I got grip tape for weights, pickleball tape, because apparently pickleball has a tape, and the tennis racket tape. And I personally like the suede the best. So just I just tried all the different ones because I wanted to be able to report back. I was hoping to be like, yeah, this is great, and this is great too. And I didn't like any of them. I took them all off. So anyway, I don't like it to have that rubbery feel because I do this like let go thing a lot where we're talking about this, where if you let go, the sword fixes itself. And if your sword's stuck in your hand, you can't let go. So I like the non-tacky grips. And then if your hands are sweaty, the leather doesn't get sticky or slippery. And I like that too. Does that make sense? Cool. That was a really long answer to a question. We talked about I want to do Klingon at the beginning. All-seeing eye, we just clarified. In your all-seeing eye, when you're in double succubus, rest your blades on your elbows. Go ahead and let your elbows come forward a little bit here. And you can control how much you twist from your wrist rather than trying to pull your arms back. So find that high, like the position 5 that feels good for your arms. And again, I have my index fingers long because it frees up my wrists, because trying to do this or trying to do this feels like it makes my arms, like the energy of my arms small. So if you make your fingers long, and I'm just letting, in this high position, I'm just letting my sword hang from my hand. It's really, I'm finding the more I'm kind of getting into the details of this, so much is about letting go more than it is even about holding on. Does that make sense, everybody? And then we're trying to balance the points under the pommel in a way that you like the most how it looks with you and your swords. And then when you turn, we're trying to turn on the spot. So if you gently pull the swords into your forearms, that's going to make your swords less floppy than if you're just holding on to them and turning. So I'm using my hand to gently pull my blade right into my forearm. Not hard, but just a little bit so that when I turn, they're connected like wings. Does that make sense? Yeah, Lori?
I can't see your hands.
Oh, they're just in succubus. So I just have, my thumb is under the quillion. My index fingers are along the handles. And then I'm just gently pressing the swords into my arms. So when I turn, they're not moving through space on their own. They're supported by the inside of my elbow. Does that make sense? Yeah, Laura, like that. How's that feel? And then remember, when we're turning on our spot, and I was going to talk about this in a minute, we want to turn like a lazy Susan, right? And so when we're trying to show control, and we're controlling how much force we have, we want to spin on the same spot. So hug your bones with your muscles as you're spinning. Even if you're doing a walk around spin, imagine you're like turning a pig on a spit kind of thing. Like, I know that's a weird illusion, but that's what just came into my mind. So I'm sorry, everyone. But I'm seeing a lot of like walking around turning. And this is one of the questions that I want to answer about at the beginning. But even if you're doing a walk around turn, make it seamless. Make it seem like you're floating, rather than, okay, now I'm turning. Because it's extra effort for you. And if you just batten down the hatches a little bit, it's gonna make everything smoother and more mysterious because you're isolating the movement so it looks more purposeful. Does that make sense? Cool. Klingon I want to talk about. Palm spin I want to talk about. The blink I want to talk about. Oh, bat wings to Klingon. Bat wings to Fountain. So at one point we are here with the two swords in the front, and we come out and up, and we grip change, and this arm comes out, but let's just do this pathway first. When you come down to the front, you're more forward than Lilith, then you're gonna come across the other side to wall plane, then open out to parentheses. And then it happens more in a cannon, but let's go ahead and do the other side. So you're gonna come across, out, open, wall plane, let go, grip change, rotate palm forward, wall plane, 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 yeah. So during that transition, and then we can go ahead and Quillian hook back, flip. When we're doing that transition, I'm seeing a lot of like there's even, what was it? There was like one that the point went this way and then so just try to let gravity help you. So when we're doing that move, out and down and rotate, sorry, I know I switched sides on you guys, and out and down, Quillian hook, rotate flat and cut out, yeah, slice out, yeah. Does that make sense? That looked a lot more purposeful. Shrey, you have a question?
When we're doing that move, we get to the bottom, we get to Lilith. Do you want us to stay in Lilith until this one finishes and then rotate into Fountain? Or when we get to the bottom, do you want us to immediately rotate and wait?
I don't know the answer to that question. Let me see.
I know what feels good, but I want to do what's right.
This one's moving before you get to the bottom. And this one keeps moving.
Okay. That's a timing thing for me then. Okay.
I'm getting crooked and I have to remember to bend this wrist a little bit to be level because I just want to stack and I'm like, Bella, you're crooked. So just a little, I gotta lift my sword up a little bit to make sure it's symmetrical.
So when we come to that move, that's gonna come around. By the time we grip change down, this is coming up.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think I was doing that. I think I was lagging on the second sword.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so as we come up, and I know I'm doing it, it's this way. Oh wait, I am doing it right, facing you. Go me. Okay, so when you come up and out, the rotation happens here, and then I'm hanging down, so I'm already in standard by mid. So then I can grab it to come around and open out. So just make sure you're not waiting to get to the bottom and then trying to muscle it. This is one of those things where when I say trust gravity in your grip changes, as you're coming down, let the sword hang from your thumb, and then as it meets your elbow, the elbow lifts up to deliver it right to standard, so you don't have to stop. You don't have to stop and throw it. You just can let the elbow stay high and the wrist keeps coming low. Does that make sense? It's almost like your wrist does a drive-by of your elbow. You come out and your elbow is gonna hit mid position first. And so I'm gonna let go then. And then my wrist is gonna keep going as I'm hanging on the Quillian thumb. The thumb of my Quillian is hanging on my thumb. So my wrist is gonna keep going, but I'm leaving my elbow stationary till I can get it, then my whole arm can move again. Then I'm gonna rotate at the bottom to then slice across, pulling close to your body so that you can keep control and it's easier on your shoulder. And then same idea on the other side. So as you come up, and we're keeping this, remember this sword is still in our brain, even though we're working on this arm. Up, out, sweep, I'm letting go, my elbow's gonna stop, my wrist is gonna keep going. So it looks like I'm lifting my elbow, but I'm not. I'm just letting the wrist keep carrying the weight of the sword so I can deliver it back to standard. So I can bring, so it doesn't ever come point in. So then I can control everything from the pommel. Yes, pull closer to the body so it doesn't hurt your shoulder. Yeah. And then for the timing, what Sheree was just asking is yes. So the right side goes up, and as the right side is coming out, the left side goes up. So it's split time. Ah, fuck, Bella. Where are we? Oh, we're up here. Right, wait. Yes, right side goes, okay, I'm combining two parts. I'm sorry. This is where I'm so tired. Please forgive me. Out, up, open, down, elbows stop, wrists keep going, deliver. Oh wait, that's a staggered one. But does that make sense? Does the grip change make sense? Is it making more sense than it was? Maybe. Did I make it more confusing? I'm trying to
It
answer.
makes perfect sense while I'm practicing, and then I get into the choreography and my hands completely forget what they're supposed to do.
Aw. Well, try to relax. I think that is the thing, is the more nervous I know it sounds like, part of it's like duh, and part of it's like, yeah, fuck off. Like, because it's hard. Relaxing is hard. Especially when you're nervous or you want to do a good job. Like, yeah, I know. But the more you can soften your grip, the more gravity will help you, and the smoother it's going to actually go. So it's kind of like you have to relax if you want to be successful. And it doesn't mean you don't care if you relax, because that's a thing too, where it's like, well, if I relax, it means I don't care, but it doesn't, because you're still practicing. Yeah, Jess? Oh, you're good? Okay. So,
Did have a
we're-
question on
I
that
gotta
one.
remember where we start. Huh? Yeah.
Somehow, and I don't know if other people are having this problem, my left hand, my sword's not facing the right direction when I grip change occasionally. Is that just let go and trust the sword?
Maybe. Lori, I'd have to see which part you're talking about. And then have you wrapped your handles?
I have. They're tennis wrap covered in KT tape, so.
Okay. No, that's fine. Hi, kitten. Practice, yes. And part of it is there are times when, yes, letting go is the answer. Not completely, but learning to fine tune what we're doing with our hands will help gravity, help the sword move the way we want it to. Which sounds the opposite of like wielding a sword. But it's like spinning poi or any kind of flow art, or even like surfing, where there's a point where you can do it and you can set up the structure for it, but it has to just go. The energy has to move. Does that make sense?
I found, I don't know if this will help anybody else, but I get super nervous or super tired and I decide to grip with every single muscle in my body. And that's when I've hit myself, or my sword has spun around in my hand, because then I'm finally like, fuck, I have to let go. And by then it's too late.
Yeah, that's a great observation, Jess. When you're tired and distracted is always when shit goes sideways in every aspect of life. And hungry. So let's do the timing on that part one more time. Okay, so we are here, and we go up and out. As this one starts to come down, this one starts to come up. So they're in opposition. And then as this one starts to come down, this one comes up. And then I'm a little bit fast on that one, so we join. Then we open, right? And then we grip change. And then we point first. And then over the shoulders. And then out. Wall plane. Yes, 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 that was so good. All right, one more time in succubus. So we come up. And this is also, I know Lorian had asked about belly dance parts, and I'm trying to speak about them a little bit more to give you answers. I like to do a hook with this move. So if that works for you, you are welcome to. You do not have to. So I'm coming up and out with a hook, and then I'm coming up and out with a hook. So my hips match the sword that's going out. And I'm exaggerating it right now. It doesn't have to be that big because you don't want your head to weave. But it feels nice when your arm matches your hip, I think. And then when you join, we just center and come up and open. Does that make sense? And then out. Yes, 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 victory. All right, does that make sense to everyone? Sheree, does that answer your question about timing? No.
It was a yes for that part, but it was the different move. It's the move where we come out from wings into fountain. That
Oh, God.
it's okay. We needed to talk about both of them. It's all good.
Yeah, well, thanks for following along, everyone. I wondered, I was like, doesn't this one start low? That makes way more sense. So, when we come out, it's still opposite. So as you come down, you're already grip changing as this one then comes up. So you're at the top as you're at the bottom. And then you're at the top as you're at the bottom so that you can quip and come up under. So it's staggered. So let's do that again. Ow. Don't do that. So we come up and out. And then as this one comes down, this one's gonna come up. Grip change. This one rotates. And then as this one comes down, this one comes up. And then this one comes under and stacks under. And we wanna try to lift this sword a little bit so that it's not saggy. So I'm just doing the 2-finger pinch and just literally pushing the handle up toward the sky. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think what was happening when I was coming around, I wasn't bringing this up fast enough, so I think I was getting down here and pausing before I flipped into fountain. So that's
Okay, yeah.
to keep moving, and that's what I wasn't doing.
Doesn't fountain come out?
It does. Yes,
Okay.
yes, it comes into parentheses, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
Still answer my question.
That's not what I did.
No, you came into not all seeing eye, but something
Oh,
else.
yes. Oh my God, I'm still not doing fountain.
It's okay, but it answered my question because I'm still pausing at the bottom for that first sword, and that's what I needed to know, that before I come back into fountain here, it just keeps moving. Yes, it comes in parentheses. Yes.
It's so weird. The music is so helpful for me to do the thing that we're talking about. Yes, but what I really want to talk about is that wall plane, because I'm still seeing like this come up or this come out and it's more back. So we really want the shapes to show. So when we come up, sorry, that's why I'm getting distracted because I'm watching and I want to talk about more than one thing at a time. So we're coming down, grabbing and opening. We're coming down, grabbing and opening, but really try to, and this might be, you're just coaxing the sword to be on wall plane, and then I'm kind of in half and half here. So now the sword's gonna come up. As I come across, both swords are on wall plane. Grip change Billa and wall plane. Do you see what I mean? So that's what I keep getting distracted because that's what I want to talk about and I'm forgetting to do the move that you're talking about. So let's do that one more time. So up, as I come through middle, because we're doing split time, grip change, across through middle, ideally, grip change, across, and open. Because we're doing split time, not stagger time. Does that make sense? Up, and again, if you want to do a figure eight here, you can. Does that help, Sheree? Okay, good. Phew, gosh, finally did the right part. Good job. Set your swords down for a second, shake out your arms, get a drink of water, please. Sandy, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. On the, let's see here if I can get into it. Okay, so on the grip change, you go here and it's hanging on your thumb.
Uh-huh.
Then it switches to like standard. When I'm getting my thumb hung up somehow or another. Like I'm trying to figure out, because it's hanging on my thumb, and then I come down here and I grab it like this, and then I still have my thumb over there. But I think when I look at you, your thumb comes back in the front. So it's almost like there's three little things going on.
Yeah,
Is that-
let me, oh, I love that you're wearing Irina's shirt. That's so awesome.
Oh, yeah, finally, yes.
Yay. All right, let me see if I can explain or speak to that. So yes, when we're coming down and I'm hanging on my thumb and I'm coming into standard, as soon as I wrap my fingers around, I'm wrapping my thumb.
Okay, fingers and thumb.
If you don't do your thumb while your arm is in a lower position, it's harder to then get it off. So it's happening as I come down into standard, and then I'm letting go before I get down here because it's harder to move my thumb down here than it is right here.
Okay. That actually helps you to turn it. The palm, for me anyway, yeah.
Well, and that's where, again, I'm really on like the inside of my thumb before I grab the sword so that I can do that without turning it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's like you're delicately taking it rather than like just grabbing it.
Okay.
Like wrap so you're in a wall plane so that when you lower down, you can bring the thumb on. And then when you're down here, if you need to do adjustment, you can do a quick little like twist to adjust anything.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Point and pommel lined up, palm spin with purpose. Okay, I'm gonna just do this with one sword for now. When we come into the palm spin, so we just did, what's right before that? Oh, we toss and catch, ka-chow. So we're coming up with your right first, right? Left first. When you come up, present, turn your fingers to the side, turn your fingers to the back, turn your fingers to the inside, push your sword with your thumb. Tip, catch. So you're doing hello with your hand, but over your head. So we did collie arms yesterday in dailies. So it's very similar to that. So there's a lot of like, fuck, we gotta spin the sword, and like freaking out happening there. And we don't have to. So if we slow down and we simplify, we'll get it. And so, and you're not alone, because it took me a long time to feel like that's all you're doing. So it's okay. But when you come up, turn your fingers and wrists, my thumb is under my sword. And then to the back, so you're coming through like a Themis position. And then turn your fingers over your head and then push it with your thumb and catch it. Then tip and slide. So much of that action is this with your hand. There's only a quarter turn that's actually a spin. And Melissa's doing like 3 spins. You can do as many spins as you want, but this choreo is just a quarter turn. So we're coming up, I'm switching hands. You're coming up. My fingers are forward, blade goes back, blade comes in, blade goes front, push the blade to the side. Oop, that one didn't go as well. And then I'm catching it between my thumb and my middle finger to stop the rotation. So then we're in Celine, and we can tip Tahara and slide. But we want that to be clear because it's a cool move. And if you can figure out the mechanics of it, it doesn't have to be like a freak out moment. Jan?
Yeah, is your elbow helping with some of that momentum too?
My elbow's helping with everything, yes.
Okay, yeah, because for me, I have to kind of pop my elbow around or I can't get it to spin.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I was missing the thumb part too. I'm a hot mess with that still.
You're learning, and that's how we learn. We all fell down a whole lot before we learned how to walk or how to use a fucking cell phone.
I still can't do that either.
I can't either. Remember texting?
Oh,
B-E.
I'm still a finger pointer. I can't do the thumb thing with that either. I'm old.
So when we come up into this presentation, yes, your elbow's forward, your fingers are forward. When my fingers come out, my elbow is starting to come out. When my fingers go back, my elbow is coming out, and then my elbow stays out while I do the hand rotation.
Okay.
So you're doing a firefly, essentially, but instead of stopping in parallel hand balance, you're keeping your perpendicular balance until your fingers get to coming into center, and then you're giving the sword a little boost.
Okay. That'll help. Yeah.
And then don't lower your arm and slide at the same time. Presentation. Boom, I just did something hard. It's cool as shit to slide your hand into your sword.
Yeah.
Your hand. Oh, I'm so on. Okay, let's do the other side. Up. Blade goes back. You can use your thumb. Blade comes in, elbow starts to come out. Blade comes forward, then push. Stop the spin, tip, and slide. Yeah, let's do that again. That was the best one yet. Ready? And out. Blade goes back. Blade comes in. Blade goes forward. Extra push. Tip. Slide. Yeah, one more time, please. Lori, is that making sense? A little bit. She's like, are you talking to me? Yes. Let's do it again. You looked confused for a second, and so I wasn't sure if it was the sword or if it was just life in general.
Overthinking.
Okay, fair enough. So up, back, in, forward, push, tip, slide. Yeah. Teresa, how's that feeling for you? Feeling okay? All right, let's try it with both. So we have our right sword balanced on our head, and we deliver to the right, and then we toss to the left. And we go left, around, stop, tip, slide, right, around, stop, tip, slide. So when I slide here, then this arm comes up to meet. Does that make sense? Let's do it again. Which sword is on my head? I don't know. Right hand and toss. Up. This one's still in wall plane. Spin, pinch, and slide. up, back, in, front, extra, pinch, slide, up. Turn. Right, I don't know, there's something there. And then we go into Atlantean. But does that make more sense with the hand part a little bit, maybe? Christy, how's that feeling?
I did a whole bunch today, so it's raw. So it's good. But yeah, I got it. It just, you know, weird place to get a blister.
Right.
Yeah. No, my right one is behaving now. My left one is just, I think, tired.
Yeah, it happens. It's okay. I'm sorry. Any questions about that? Yeah, Sandy?
I forgot which part of the hand, or the part of the finger which to put the sword in for this part. Is it where the palm and the fingers or the next one up?
No, I'm doing kind of, that's a really good question. I am a little bit more on the, actually, it's a really good question. Because for twirl, we're more in the fingers. And for this toss and catch, I am closer to the palm. Because I'm not doing a finger balance this way. So when I place, I am placing on the knuckle, not in my fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if we ever talked about that question, so it's a really great question. Because then when you push up, it's easier to rotate because you're on a bony process rather than in your knuckle grooves. So it's a different hand placement for the trick than if we were catching in the fingertips. So even when I place my sword and when I toss it, I'm catching it more on the palm than I would normally in my fingers if I was going to do twirl. That's an awesome question.
I do have a question. So the part that's raw is actually right here, and I think it's from the spine slide. Is that where yours rubs, or am I like maybe holding on too tight or something? Because it's like right here on both hands where.
I don't have any problems with that, so let me.
Okay. The spin works, so I'm using this for that part. It's like when I grab it.
Okay, no, I love these questions. You guys are so awesome. This is where we get to geek out, and it's my favorite. So I'm catching my sword on my index finger.
Oh.
Which means when I'm sliding, I'm never getting into the webbing.
Your meat's not there. Okay. Yeah, because it's like the palm, like the.
Yeah.
Right there. Oh, okay.
These are such great questions.
So maybe it's good it's raw, because then I would have never have asked if we only.
Yeah. So I'm catching on my hand itself, so not fingers. And then when I rotate, I'm stopping it right on that knuckle.
Oh, and I'm stopping it here, like it spins and
So then when I slide, my finger just goes to the side and it slides down my index finger.
Christy, I catch it almost between my first and my second and just slide down my palm almost.
Oh, you did. Give it a little. Yeah, I did that.
Do you have problems tipping clearly? Because that's what I think, catching it on my finger and my knuckle makes this, for me, feel really crisp. Where if I get it in between my fingers, but everybody's different. If I get it in between my fingers, well, it is in between my fingers. I'm just using my back finger to stop it. Like I use both to create like breaks.
Okay. And I'm using my thumb as a brake and then it's sliding. So that might be why it feels like not so good.
Yeah, I'm using the back finger to, my middle finger is the back finger to stop it, and my front finger to, like one stops the twirl and then the other one kind of stops the motion, like brakes.
Okay.
Kind of brake pads squeeze the two sides of your rotor.
All right, well, I'll try my rear brakes because my front brakes are tired. I like that. That works.
Awesome. Sheree?
No, I was just Christy asked, and I was like, what am I stopping it with? So I think I'm stopping it with a combination of my first finger and my thumb. But I'm not sliding down into the webbing of my hand.
Yeah, I'm not in my webbing, but it's like the actual like meat of my.
Yeah, I'm catching it, probably like you, Bella. I'm kind of catching it here.
So you're more here.
Yeah, and when I slide there.
And I'm using my thumb as a brake, so it goes, and then and then it slides, and it's like little, like not quite a paper cut, but kind of that situation.
Yeah. Well, and that's where, for me, it slides down my whole finger.
Oh.
Same.
It's like a brace underneath the spine of the sword.
Same.
And I stop it on my finger, so then when I tip it, I still have control until I let go.
All right, I'll play with that.
And Christy, it might also be your sword. Like I got 4, and one of my swords, the spine for some reason is like a razor blade, and the other 3, it's not.
This is a brand new sword. I demummified it this morning, so yeah.
You called it demummifying it.
Yeah.
Yes, you could also need to file the spine because when they're machine done, sometimes they're wicked sharp. They'll cut your hair.
But I definitely rub in that spot though, so it's probably good that happened because now I know it's a different spot. So
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked that question. Oh. Can I see you all do that part and just watch? Into double hand balance, pummels in, blades out. Lori and I am so with you. I'm like, how do I get there? All right, so from one hand out, present and spin, catch, tip, and slide. And the other hand out, spin, catch, tip, and slide. Shauna, that looks awesome. Try to keep your arm up when you tip. Don't lower your arm. Good, let's do it again. If you haven't done it. So what I mean is, when you do this cool trick, don't do this. It doesn't show the spine slide. So keep your arm up high. It also makes it easier. Keep your arm up high, tip your sword, spine slide, then lower. They're separate steps. Does that make sense? All right, let me watch you one more time. Thank you. And present, spin, pinch, tip, slide, and present, spin, flip, tip, slide. Yeah, we're getting there. Some people look, yes. Some people are like, I'm gonna get there. And some people are like, I'm gonna play with this a little bit more. But everybody looks a little bit more confident than when we started. So that is awesome. Great job. All right, I want to talk about Klingon before we run out of time. Is that okay? Let's do it. All right, so at the very beginning, we have this crazy pose called Klingon. Ooh. And I'm just going to walk us through that first part. So when we're here, make sure that your points are on top of each other. So we're not twisting here or here. We're trying to be at center. And then try to make sure your swords are centered on your body. Because you don't want to be too low and have it be too heavy for one arm, and you don't want to be too high and have it look like you're going to stab yourself in the belly. So with your body and your swords, find the place where they're balanced from top to bottom. Okay, I'm right. It might even hold my swords right. Then we're going to do that spin on the spot like a lazy Susan. It goes faster the second half, and we come to wall plane. So when we come to wall plane, we're rotating both palms forward, and we're still trying to keep that shape where it's not kicking the bottom out. So if you need to bring your arm more forward, that's okay. But we're trying to keep the points stacked in space. Then we're gonna lower down as far as our shoulders will let us to come to floor plane. So I'm seeing a lot of kind of staying up here. And we wanna, this is a move. Like this action is a move. So we wanna hit floor plane here if possible. Plus it's like super dangerous. We've got blades. It's a different kind of weapon. Then we come up And so this shape should be the same on both sides. So we come down and we come up. Then we carve across, and then we slice, and we turn. We're at the top on the word blood, and we come down. And we keep turning until we get to back where we very first started from. Then you're gonna drop down to Cleo again as you turn upstage, floor plane, good, Shrey, that looks really good. And then up to add attention on the other side, but you're stacked in front of your low hand. Then slice down wheel plane. So you wanna see that arc the whole way from the side. Carve across, let the point from this clotho position, let the point catch up on top so you're not passing or stabbing. So from the clotho position, meet in the middle, then over to the side where we just were facing forward, axial rotation down to the hip. The slice comes up again on wheel plane. So it doesn't come diagonally across the body. It's okay to twist from the lower body. Come up on wheel plane, up and over. Slash down the low arm side, carve through center, carve to wall plane facing stage right, carve to the floor, carve to wheel plane, stay facing up stage, down stage. Good, drag up. And as you come into full moon, start your turn back to the front. Then we're gonna rotate. As you rotate, go ahead and let your hands come down. So I don't wanna come down this far, but let your arms come down a little bit so you have more range of motion. So if you come into this blood moon shape, just come into this shape. I'm as high as I can be, I'm not blocking my face, but this is the rotation that we want. Does that make sense? And I'm not actually holding on to my handles, I'm just pinching the blade to my handles. So I don't have my fingers on this one because I'll drop the sword. Good, so we wanna rotate to here, then we're gonna come down. And then when you slice, go ahead and step back, and you're gonna stop the energy of the swords. So don't let them swing free, stop the energy of the swords. Then rotate palms forward. Open. Ka-chow, yeah. Does that make sense? And then that goes right into sweep. So this is something like 5, and then it's like 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. It's something like that. So that this is this part. So that you're not waiting for the 1, ka-chow, then lift up into your cocoon, yeah. But does that make sense about like really paying attention to your planes in Klingon? Because it doesn't look the same when your planes aren't precise in Klingon. It looks messy. So we want to look like so good, right? At least I do. Yeah, Lorian?
I think the main reason that my Klingon looks messy is because it is still almost excruciatingly painful to do any of that stuff slow because my wrists feel like they're going to pull apart. And I've been doing, with 3-pound weights, I've been doing these, and I've been doing these, and I've been squeezing my Franklin balls.
Oh, good.
And like those are the 3 exercises my PT gave me, but I don't know if maybe there's other ones that I should be doing because I feel like it hasn't really gotten any less painful.
Okay. Have you tried taping your hands or wearing like stretchy wrist braces or like ace bandages kind of things?
I haven't. I just hadn't thought of that. My PT hasn't recommended
No,
it.
I just thought because it would give you extra support. Because that's what we used to. I used to wear a brace when I would do flourish because my wrist, when I first started doing flourish with the cast, was not like having it. And so that's the first thing that comes to mind. The other thing that I got that I need to probably use more than I do is, so I don't know if I showed you guys these, but this kind of grippy dude. And then you can control how much resistance it is, so it helps me with this action. Does that make sense?
I've been doing this because this is just the equipment that I have, and it's fairly difficult. Like, I don't feel like I need to up the difficulty yet.
Well, no, and that's, so the action you're doing is a different action. So if you maybe try, can you do it more where you're like squishing into the palm rather than like Pac-Man? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess my personal trainer specifically said Pac-Man, but I guess I could do both.
Oh no, I just mean for this move, like
Mhm.
for Klingon, because I mean, we're kind of Pac-Man, but like if I'm doing this action, I feel it back here. And when I'm doing this action, I feel it in here. So we're trying to feel it in here, whatever helps you feel it in here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. I do feel it a little, like if I spread my fingers apart and like squeeze the whole ball, that does feel different.
Yeah. So if you pull it more into the palm of the hand, because that's going to strengthen here versus strengthening back here.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I won't add that to my...
And then I got these, I need to use them, but they strengthen the back of the hand this way.
Yeah, and I want those. They're on my wish list. It's just, everything costs money.
Yeah, totally. Well, these I got during my recovery. I think maybe someone sent them to me. But I can feel this action. So hopefully that will help with that. And then the other part is you don't have to do it. But obviously when you want to do it, we try to accommodate. So maybe a little extra support, and then maybe try the different squeezing exercise and actually see where you're feeling it when you're in Klingon, and then see what secondary exercise kind of feels that way. Yeah. Jan?
Yeah, the Quillian of one sword is scratching the heck out of the other one. I can't get the light on it, but I've
Yeah, I
got
can see it.
tons of scratches. I think they're right in here. What can I do to...
Do you have a metal file?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to file the burr. There's a burr on your Quillian.
Yeah, I did that, but I've already kind of fixed it, but the damage is done on this one. So is there anything I can do to not make those scratches so obvious?
If you have like a polishing tool, you can try that, like a Dremel that has a polishing head or something that would buff out the scratches, depending on how deep they are. And sometimes waxing it will help kind of fill in the scratches and make them less obvious. But unfortunately, once metal's scratched, it's just a matter of either trying to buff it out or fill it in.
Yeah, they're not real deep.
Yeah, you might be able to buff it out if you get like an electric tool with a buffer. And then just make sure you don't do a spot at a time, but kind of do an area to blend it together.
Yeah, I hope I wasn't just gripping it too hard, but there was a burr on the other Quillian, so.
Yeah, gosh, I feel like now we need like how to inspect your new sword to make sure it's not going to damage you.
Yeah, because it was the second sword doing it on my primary sword, and I didn't catch it till today. Somehow I caught the light on it just right, and I went, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I knew mine was sharp. I just made choices.
They're swords, so it's kind of okay for them to have some scars. I mean, we have scars and we're still here.
Sheree and I are both, my hands get, I don't know if this helps you, Lauren, at all, but my hands get super cranky if I'm thinking really hard and I'm gripping tighter than I think I am.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier.
Yeah, so just like, I
Or
don't
was
know.
that the other class, Jess? I don't remember now. It might have been.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
It's been a really interesting day, yes. But yeah, softening your grip will make a difference. Yeah.
And I do that when I'm thinking really hard or like, I don't know. And then it starts to hurt and I'm like, oh, I bet I'm tighter than I intend to be anyhow.
And how long are the videos going to stay up?
Lori had asked that question right before class. I need to look at a calendar and I will report back.
Okay, are you going to give us a Vimeo that kind of stays with us for a while?
Again, I'm going to look at my calendar and I'm going to get back.
Okay.
I don't want to give a wrong answer when I'm not prepared to make that answer. So I promise I will let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
It's usually 2 weeks to a month. It just depends on how much Zoom space I need for what else is coming up.
Okay.
If I don't need it, it's cool. If I, I want to give you as much time as I can. It's usually 2 weeks. I'm going to see if I can give you a little longer, but I don't want to promise.
Okay.
At least 2 weeks. But like I said, as long as if I can, I want to make it a little longer.
I'm going to be working on this for a really long time.
Well, hopefully it's not going anywhere. So we'll just get better every time we do it. All right, let's do it one time. Yeah? Friends, like, finally we're going to dance. All this talking. All right, dancers. I see some folks are ready. Yeah, Layla, let's get it.
Hush now, dry your eyes. Fate is upon us, the changing of times. Welcome, blood red skies, burn in the wake of a world left behind.
Sorry, I'm gonna pause it for just a second. I know that sucks because I interrupted it, but I want to speak about the turns because Lorian asked about the footwork, and that distracted me because I never talked about it. From our beginning position here, I am doing a right crossover turn all the way to the front. When we come behind and up and across, I'm doing a step together, step chasing turn, right and right and right and right, sneak turn to the side. Then right across. And then again, right sneak turn, so I'm stepping back on the right to come up and over. And then I'm doing another right sneak turn to the front. So lots of right sneak turns. So, fucking hell, Bella. Crossover. Chasing, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, sneak turn. Is that part? Now I'm forgetting. Slash, and prepare, drag, step back on the right foot, pivot up and over, slash, and prepare, and I'm stepping back on the right foot again. Does that make sense? Lorian, does that help with your feet? A little, I mean, until you get to do it like 50 times, but okay, let's do it from the top. Thank you all for letting me explain that, because as we were doing it, I was like, oh, I forgot to talk about this. Okay, from the top, ground and center. You made it to class tonight. That's a success. Remember, points over points.
Hush now, dry your eyes. Fate is upon us, the changing of times. Welcome, blood red skies, burn in the wake of a world left behind. isolation. There's nowhere safe to hide.
Spot. Spot. Spot.
Can't escape the fallout. Feel the fire rage on. See the shadows running. Can't escape the fallout. Can't escape the fallout. Feel the fire rage on. See the shadows running. Can't escape the fallout. Can't escape the fallout.
Ta-da! How did that feel after breaking everything down? We did it! Awesome! All right, let's stretch our backs and then I am going to let you go on with your evening. So let's just take a forward